Hello, my babies, and welcome back to another episode of Astro Tea of what's happening celestially. So let's go ahead and hop into it. Actually, plot twist. Quick update. So for the month of February, I really want the focus of a lot of my messages to be around ancestral healing and love. Of course, because of Valentine's Day, but also it's the energy of this year. I feel like a lot of us are going to be coming back to love and strengthening our self-worth. Mercury retrograde is trying to get me, but we ain't about to do that today. So that's going to be my main focus for the month of February. So be on the lookout for that. I'm really excited. So I think it's going to be really, really great. So back to the astrology. So January is almost over. It's pretty crazy. But we have Venus going direct in Capricorn on the 29th. And yeah, Venus is going its normal speed in the sign of Capricorn. So I really feel as though since it was in retrograde, retrograde is all about revisiting, revising, reorganizing, reanalyzing. So at this point, I feel like we're going to be really 10 toes down about what we want from relationships, what we value, and what we need for our overall evolution, and also creating stability, Capricorn. So I think that's the best place for us to be at this time, because I feel like a lot of us have either created or been in relationships that have been very flighty or just very temporary, whether that be it is what it is, or maybe pressure, or so. It's a lot of things, a lot of us can relate to being in relationships where we shouldn't have been, but we were, so here we are. And another thing, I really want us to get away from glorifying dysfunctional relationships. I feel like that's constantly in the media, and I feel like it's truly a detriment to our psyche and what we believe is possible for ourselves. And I just want people to know that, and I'm still learning this too, but I just want people to know that God really wants us to have authentic, loving connections, not only with other people, whether that be romantic or platonic, but also with our guides as well. And again, we haven't really been taught that even within the church. It's very much like you think about being with someone and it's a sin, or you have sex before marriage and it's a sin. It's not that damn serious. I promise. But anyway, I just really think that a lot of us are going to be in a place where we want stability, and we're not going to waver in what we want. And I think it's so beautiful, because I feel like a lot of us have had moments, or you might still be in that phase, where you've settled for less, or we just settled for less, and we forgot that we are so much we are worthy of having every single thing that we desire and what we deserve, and just all of the above. Also, this could be a great time for like beautification rituals, Venus. And what I mean by that, you could be stepping up your self-care, getting your nails done, learning how to do your hair, something like that, changing your hair color, changing your style, maybe even redecorating. I think especially with things within the home is really important, because that's your sanctuary. When you get home from work or get home from any sort of situation, your home is supposed to be your sanctuary. And I think that it's very important, and something to think about. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Pinterest is the shits. So yeah. Also, this is also a great time to reevaluate if your employers are treating you like you deserve. And I know it's really frustrating to have employers that sometimes they either overlook your potential, or they see your potential and they just ignore it. It's frustrating, and I get that, but also I know that it's hard out there, so you use your discernment. But if you have the ability to leave that sort of situation and find something better, then I strongly recommend that. If you have to stay put for a little bit longer, then that's what you have to do. But really think about that. And then I think, you know, once you kind of start to, you know, kind of have those conversations with yourself, I believe that your guides will kind of put more opportunities and more, you know, situations in front of you that can really help you to evolve and to move forward into something that's much better, and, you know, into like a workplace that's going to be, that's just gonna, I think you're just gonna love it. You know, that's what I really feel. And then we have a new moon in Aquarius on the 31st. So I just think that this is a time to just innovate. And I really feel like our souls want to innovate, and I feel like it's just the time to build. You know, think of this, like new moons is the perfect time to set intentions. So what I want people to do is detach from fear and set intentions around what you want to manifest and what you desire, and then make sure that you break everything down into manageable pieces so that it can get done, you know. Because I truly believe that anything is possible, but we have to remember that we have to be very gentle with ourselves, you know. And that also brings me to, on February 3rd, Mercury is finally going direct its normal speed in the sign of Capricorn. So it's like your communication, Mercury is going to be very much, is going to be more straightforward, Capricorn. And I feel like it's going to, you know, so it's just like we're like everything's really coming together for us to build a foundation that's much better for us and also collectively as well. Because, you know, bringing it back to Aquarius represents the collective in my eyes, and also humanitarian efforts, the underdog, things of that nature. So it's like you doing what's best for you, I feel like, is also going to radiate outwards and help others around you as well. And it could be something simple, something as simple as like I think we think about things a little, like change, really, like we're very skeptical of change sometimes, and sometimes it's not even that serious. Sometimes you can make someone's day by saying hello, or I like that shirt, or some, you know, like it's never, like change is never as serious as we kind of make it out to be. But again, I think for these transits, you know, really think about what you want to build, and yeah, and I think, you know, Capricorn is going to give us that energy of efficiency, which I think is really, I think it's so beautiful because we have it in Venus, which is, you know, rules the money, our values, beauty, things of that nature. And then you have Mercury, which is communications, the way we think. So it's like all of these structures are going to be rebuilt in such a beautiful way so that we can just evolve and be be autonomous and authentic. Good Lord, my throat chakra is having troubles, but it's okay. So right now I'm going to pull some tarot cards and some oracle cards, and then we're going to see what else our guides have to say about the week ahead and what's going to be coming to fruition for us. You know, the energy's picking up. But yeah. Okay. Woo. Okay. We got a lot of good things. Okay. So we have the Ten of Swords, everything is fine. And then the Six of Cups, the World, and then the Queen of Wands, the Two of Swords, and then the Ace of Wands. So again, you know, for me, the Ten of Swords, or everything is fine, is definitely giving that energy of, this card does look very gruesome, but essentially it represents like we're going through a complete rebirth, and, you know, a lot of the swords represents the mind, you know, Mercury energy. So it's like all of these thoughts, all of these mindsets and thoughts around we can't do this, we have to completely let go and release those ideas and those thoughts because it's not doing us any good. And also she's on her phone. So one thing that I have been really working towards is trying to spend less time on social media, because social media, a lot of it's fake, to be real. Like we have all these expectations for ourselves, and then we look to others to figure out how to get to point A and point B, but the thing is, it's fake. You know, a lot of these celebrities, you know, they take the easy route and get to where they are now. And that means financially and sometimes physically, as far as either like moving to a different location or a better location, or taking photos in specific locations to get us to feel like, oh, I wish I was there. Oh, that's not possible for me to get there because I don't have this, and this. And it's like, it's not true because it's all fake. But also it's like social media is very damaging to the confidence, in the sense that sometimes we feel like we should be further along than we are at this time. And you know, our guides have a completely different vision for how our life is supposed to go, and also your path is very different from a lot of the people that you kind of aspire to be like. And I just think that it's really, you know, and again, this is something I'm working on as well. It's like there's some people who really put in the work, but we will never see what they had to do behind the scenes. And it's like, now we're at that point where we're working on the shit behind the scenes, and then eventually we'll be able to live these luxurious lives. But there's a lot of things that have to happen behind the scenes, especially when it comes down to your thoughts, especially when it comes down to the way that you think, because the mind controls a lot more than you think. And so it's like, if your confidence is not where it's supposed to be, if your money's not where it's supposed to be, all of these things have to align first in order for you to get to where you want to go. And I do feel we're at this place where we're pretty much being rebirthed. Hi, baby. That was it. We're just at this place where we're going through a complete rebirth, and I feel like a lot of us are going through very similar situations where there's moments where we know that we're powerful and strong and great, and then there's other times where we're not quite sure. And I do feel like we just have to be, we need to move from a place of survival and stagnancy into a place of growth and gentleness and consistency, because sometimes we can get in our comfort zone, and you know, like what she's doing right now. Like, how many of us have been in bed scrolling on social media just cause? It's like, you can be spending that time growing your business, reading books, detaching from expectations of how things are supposed to turn out, and actually putting in the work to see how they turn out. And then we have the Six of Cups. You know, there's a lot of emotions from the past that are affecting you from moving forward and being the entrepreneur, or being able to live in this life of luxury that you've always dreamed of. And I do believe that everyone deserves luxury and to live the lives that they deserve. But again, we have to realize that, again, social media is fake, and also luxury means something different to everyone. You know, some people like the life of luxury is renovating a Sprinter van and just going cross country and enjoying that, you know, being very minimal. Some people, they want a mansion and 7 cars. Some people just want to live in a condo, kind of like on the outskirts of the city or something, you know, there's so, or live in the mountains. So it's like everyone has a different version of luxury, and I really want people to detach from feeling as though you have to be like what you see, because again, it's fake. It's all fake. And I just and then we have the Queen of Wands. Again, this is very much like, excuse me, this is entrepreneur energy all day. It's a very fiery, very passionate, very driven, but I feel at this time it might not be time to take action. I think this is more so a time to plan. And you would be surprised, like say for instance, you want to have a online store and sell merch, or sell pieces that you make. You know, are you even at the do you even have the mental capacity or the emotional bandwidth to handle a lot of orders? If you can't, then that's something to kind of plan around, you know? Make sure that you have a nice routine, Capricorn, to make sure that you can handle that sort of workload. You know, that's something, and again, that's something to think about. These are things that we don't pay attention. We don't pay attention to the behind the scenes things that are important. It's like, do you have a website? Do you have brand colors? Do you have a logo? Do you have an LLC, or do you have your company name copywritten or something? You know, there's a lot to think about, and there's a lot of planning that has to go down. And so that this is kind of your homework at this time, you know, setting your intentions to make sure that you can have everything set in place so that you can be successful. And I really do believe that everyone will be just fine, but you have to keep in mind that, again, you have to put in the work. You have to start, you know, and sometimes it feels frustrating to start over, but if you keep giving up, you're gonna have to start over. You know, that's something that I had to go through, because I kept, you know, starting and stopping doing yoga every day, because I would do yoga every day, but then there would be like a week where like I just wasn't feeling it, or for whatever reason I just like got really down and kind of depressed or overwhelmed by whatever was happening in life. And you know, but again, I was like, let me just keep at it. And you know, I did yoga yesterday, and I was like, I am actually gaining a lot of strength and becoming much more flexible than I thought. You know, it's so like, you don't even think that you're doing a lot of work, but you actually are. You know, that's the beauty of it. It's like, damn, I can bend in ways that I never thought. so that's something to think about. And then we have this black cat, which for me in this card, it shows that, like, yes, we want to be who we have always dreamt of, but there are certain things that have happened in the past, and they might not have been that great, but that's okay. The important thing is that you keep going, because again, like I mentioned with the new moon in Aquarius happening on the 31st, our soul wants to innovate, our soul wants to evolve, our soul wants to be the person that we always were, but for whatever reason, we have created limitations for ourselves, and whether that be staying on social media a little bit too long, or being a little bit too stagnant, or whatever the case is, you know, that's something for you to consider and to really figure out how to heal. Of course, I'm here as well to help, but you also have to put in the work. You know, I can't do all the work for you. So we have the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords is like, you have to follow your intuition and really use your discernment to figure out where you need to go next, because, and this is the part of, you know, like when I mentioned that social media is fake, it's like it tells you what to do and how to feel and how to be, because of the scripts, yes, whatever, because of like a lot of these celebrities read the same scripts if they're trying to promote something, or they promote something because they were told to. Like, they don't have a lot of autonomy like we think they do. And the reason why I mention this is because you have to figure out what you value and what your goals are, and it's like, it's okay if it's different from the norm. It's also very important to know that, like, if there's something that you're doing and every single time you think about it, you just feel like a spark within your heart space, that's something to really think about and to really do more research on, as to why do I feel this way? How can I continue to build upon that spark, you know? And we have the Ace of Wands right here. It's like, that's your guides giving you the green light to go after this particular feeling, to go after this particular thing. And, you know, your guides are going to give you the energy and drive that you need, but you have to keep that fire going. And again, you just have to be consistent. You know, again, we have a lot of planets in Capricorn at this time, so it's like it's going to be a lot easier to be consistent, but again, you have to remember not to be so stubborn, you know. And I know one thing for me is, like, there have been a lot of things that have happened in the past, and, you know, instead of moving forward and growing and evolving, I would, you know, not do something because I was afraid of the outcome. And it's like, you know what, this thing is probably not as scary as I'm making it seem, or this situation or goal or project is probably not as hard as I think. And normally whenever there's a project that I need to get done, I get it done fairly quickly. It depends on certain ones, but it's just like, or, you know, it's all, I just want to give different examples, but, you know, there's some goals where you can get them done fairly quickly, because it wasn't as hard as you thought it was. And then there's also goals where you might have to come back to it every so often, you know, like, as an example, if you're an artist, or a writer or something like that, sometimes you might have, say, a painting, and you kind of get the base done, but then you come back maybe like a couple of days or so and just like, you know what, let me add some more details, and then you continue to do that. Or if you're a writer and it's like you get like the rough draft done, but there's a lot of editing involved, you know, it's a lot that kind of goes into being a creative and being an entrepreneur. You know, like I mentioned before, like, if you're trying to own a business, you know, there's a lot of paperwork and shit involved, you know. It's not, you just have to be careful, you know. And then now people love to sue people. I'm not saying that they win every damn time, but they love to sue a bitch for whatever reason. So I'm not saying that that's happening to me, but just pointing that out. Just, you know. All right, so let's get some oracle cards, and then we'll go ahead and, is this all from the Stack Spirit? Yes. So this is my dragon card deck. So we have Silver Lunar Dragon. Bathes you in divine feminine light. Come into okay, the video cut off, so I don't know what happened, but so we have the Silver Lunar Dragon. Bathes you in divine feminine light. Come into balance and practice peace, harmony, and cooperation. Expand your casual chakra. Then we have Guan Yin's Pink Dragon. Brings firm love that resets your karmic balance. See all your cords, dissolved by transcendent love. Enjoy your freedom. Look for the divine around you. I think that's extremely beautiful, and yeah, I really do feel like now we're going to be coming back into more balance with ourselves and what we want to accomplish, and also finding that balance to accomplish what we want while building our self-worth and loving ourselves more. And I just really feel like the energy coming forward is going to be really beautiful, because we're almost at that point where all the planets are going to be going at their normal speed. So there's not going to be a lot of resistance in, you know, accomplishing our goals and getting things done. But again, I think the right now plan, and also try to view everything from a place of love rather than fear, you know, because it's like your guides are all around you, rooting for you. I'm rooting for you, and we can, you know, we can do this. We can do this. You know, it's completely possible. You know, like I did mention that, like, so a lot of things on social media is fake, but there are individuals who have built their own from the ground up, and so it is possible to do it in a way that's not that's sustainable, you know. And I mentioned before with like glorifying unhealthy connections, it's like authentic connections are possible. Loving yourself is possible, even though it seems like every single bit of you has been broken and shattered into pieces. It's like you can be rebuilt. And I just want people to know that, you know, if you're viewing this video, that like with love you can rebuild. With love you can create a life for yourself that is just filled with beauty and happiness and joy. But it takes practice, it takes balance, it takes diligence and consistency. You know, like if there's some days where you're having a hard time getting out of bed, that's okay. That's just your body telling you that you need a break. But after, you know, you're feeling better, it's time to hop back into things and, you know, just be gentle with getting things accomplished. And I do believe that everything is going to work out really beautifully. Especially with all the energies moving forward now and not backwards. And then, like this card says, you know, enjoy your freedom. You know, this is a complete reset for us collectively, and I'm excited. You know, I don't fully know what's going to happen collectively, but I do know that we're not moving backwards. We're not going to experience the same things that we did in the past unless, you know, you're really resistant to change. But it's going to be okay. I really do have a lot of faith that everything's going to work out really beautifully over, you know, the next week and also February as well. So I hope these messages help. Sending love to everyone and good health. So good luck.